Welcome back to episode 70 on this Tuesday, the 6th of October. The time is 19 minutes to 11 o'clock now. Normally it would be 19 minutes to 10, but we are in Eastern Daylight Saving Spring Summertime now. And this is segment 2, how to organise a camping trip away. Firstly, make sure that you've got all your essentials, like your tents, and your camping gear, like your sleeping bag, your lilos. And I pump the lilo up with now. A lilo is an inflatable mattress. And make sure that you have some blankets for winter, sheets for winter and sheets for summer. Here's my outsider to open the second topic.
Good morning, viewers. What an exciting topic we are talking about now. So Barry is absolutely right when he says that it's really important to make sure you plan a camping trip.
Okay, now, before you even organize the camping trip, guys and viewers out there watching the program now, consider your family's health, because that's important. Are the family well enough to go away on the camping trip? Here's my outsider.
That's right. Make sure you've told somebody where you're going, and most importantly, anyone you're going away with, make sure everyone is 100% well.
Okay, because you could be out in the bush, okay? And how will you know where the nearest medical center or hospital is? Here's my outsider.
That's right. So the easiest way to do that is to choose your location. Where are you going to camp? That's the first step. Once you've done that, like Barry just mentioned, you need to find your nearest medical center or hospital.
And make sure that you've got enough lighting to light up your awnings too at night. Here's my outsider.
And that's right. So the lighting could include wood for your campfire, or it could include torches, or it could include lights for your camper van or your tent.
Okay, but be careful, guys, about kerosene lamps, because kerosene and lamps, if someone knocks it over, bang, and you don't want that to happen. Here's my outsider.
That's right, Barry. So your alternate could be, like I said, a campfire for outside, but also just your tent, your torches that are battery operated.
And always make sure that you and always make sure that you've got enough essentials to cover yourself, like perishable foods, bread and milk, and make sure that the milk is cold and won't go sour on a hot day. Here's my outsider.
That's really important, Barry. Another really important thing to do is when you're researching where you're going to go camping and talking about what perishables you take, is do you need to take fresh water? Make sure you take the right amount of water, because some campsites don't have any drinking water available.
Okay, and make sure that if you're taking your pets into the area, please look at the signs, because Some campsites do not allow their pets. Here's my offside.
That's right, it's important to make sure you do your research.
Okay, and total fire bans as well. Here's my offsider.
That's right, it's really important to make sure that if you're camping in a national park or bushland, that you need to be up to date on what the total fire ban precautions are, and do not start a fire. And that also includes barbecues as well, if it is total fire ban.
And make sure that if you are accessing by road in your car, make sure that you know which way to go into the camping area. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. Always make sure you have a map with you as well.
And always make sure that you check the depths of the water too. Here's my offside.
That's a really important one, Barry, depending on whether it is the ocean or a lake or a dam. Do not just dive in the water. You need to make sure you're aware of the depths of the water. As well as if you're camping along a beach, you need to make sure you're aware of rips and currents and things like that. So make sure you always tell somebody where you're going and be careful in the water.
Okay. The last thing you want to have happen is a flat battery. Because if your car won't start, you need to make sure that you have a good trampoline to start the battery, to start the car. Here's my offsider.
Oh, Barry, what a shame that would be if something like that happened on a camping trip. But it's really important before you plan any trip away, not just a camping trip, that you make sure that your car is serviced and up to date with its services. But also just get a double check and make sure you've got all of the right amount of oil and things like that that go into it. And like Barry said, pack a good set of jumper leads.
And you've got to make sure too, guys, that there is enough power in the coil to turn the car's engine over. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry.
Now, if you're in you drive a manual vehicle, guys, if you're gonna jump start your car, always choke the wheels, jack your car up, okay? Then put the car into neutral, turn on the ignition, okay, and then turn the back wheel slowly, and then until you hear a rattle, okay, and then put the car into top gear, and then the car will start. Here's my offsider.
Good advice, Barry. I didn't know that, so thank you. I've learned something today.
So, another thing when you're camping as well, make sure that you've got your first aid kit, because with summer coming up now, guys, make sure that you've got everything packed for your first aid kit, and make sure that everything in your first aid kit is in date. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. So make sure you've got an up-to-date first aid kit that includes medications, burn creams, band-aids, bandages, compressions, all of those things.
And what about cough medicine in case you or one of your kids has a cough? Here's my offsider.
That's right. It's also really important to make sure you take the important things like cough medicine and Panadol and any other daily regular medications that you or your family take.
And another thing, if you are swimming in a lake, make sure that it is clean before you go in. Please do not swim in dirty water. I mentioned this on a video before. Please do not do that because you can get sick from this. Here's my operator.
Really good advice, Barry. You don't want to end up being sick on your holiday.
Now, make sure that you have got everything packed properly, like spare batteries for your torch, jumper leads and things like that. Here's my operator.
That's right, Barry. There's really, really important that you pack everything. And even just pack some extra things just in case a scenario or situation comes up that you may not think could.
And make sure that you've got a mobile phone that will have coverage, okay? Because if you need to ring 112, make sure you choose a location that has a phone coverage of your area. Here's my operator.
That's right, Barry. Always, if you're going to be travelling or camping or going anywhere where there's no reception, make sure you always tell somebody that's not going to be on a holiday with you the time you will be arriving, where you are staying, and the time you plan on leaving.
Okay, and another thing, if you are planning to leave early in the morning, make sure that you and your family get a good night's sleep before you head off, because if you drive in the middle of the night, that is not a good start to the camping trip, okay? And make sure that you cancel your milk and your grocery order before you leave. Here's my operator.
That's right, Barry. Good advice.
And what about your pets? If you can't take your pets camping, always arrange for somebody that is trustworthy to look after your pets. Here's my operator.
That's right. We don't want to leave our pets at home without any food or water, Barry.
And if you are taking your pets, like I mentioned just a couple of moments ago, please take a suitable dog bowl for its food and make sure there is access to good drinking water for your dog. Here's my operator.
That's right, Barry. Always make sure if you're taking any of your pets with you that you have all of their basic needs as well met and covered.
And if you're traveling in a four-wheel drive, guys, please do not overcrowd it, okay? Because that's how rollovers can happen, okay? And concentrate on rough roads wherever you are going, and the most important thing, having spare tires and all the tools and jacks to change the tires, please. And make sure that the tires have good tread on them, okay? Because if the tires are bald, that's not safe. Here's my operator.
Very good advice, Barry.
We know that it is fun to go away, but please do look after your health and things like that. Welcome back to episode 70 and the conclusion of segment 2. Before we wrap up segment 2, just a couple of very important points. Consider your family's health. Consider your health. And make sure that you ring the National Parks office first and to see whether there are any road closures. And before you drive your car or four-wheel drive in, make sure you know how steep the hills are going up or down. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. It's really important to make sure you've told somebody where you're going, what you're doing, and how you're getting there.
And also, please concentrate on the road, because if you take your eyes off the road, your four-wheel drive can get stuck, and you don't want that to happen. Here's my offsider.
That's right. It's really important that if you're the driver of the vehicle, your eyes are always on the road.
And if there's another four-wheel drive traveling, make sure you've got good radio contact and make sure that you've got your winches ready to pull each other out in difficult situations. Here's my offsider.
Really good advice, Barry.
And make sure that you've got good communications, okay? Because if you're stuck, you must radio the other four-wheel drive and make sure that they have their gear ready also. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. It's really important to make sure you know, somebody knows where you are at all times.
And always make sure you've got enough petrol in the car, and never carry petrol in ice cream containers. Carry it in a jerry can. Here's my offsider.
Good advice, Barry. Maybe you should tell our viewers why we don't carry petrol in an ice cream container.
Well, it's really dangerous, guys, to carry petrol in an ice cream container, because what can happen? The ice cream container can expand and bang! Here's my offsider.
Wow. Well, Barry, thank you for telling me that little bit of information. I'll be sure to never carry petrol in an ice cream container.
So if you are going on a short trip, guys, just carry a small jerry can, but if you are going for 7 days, always carry a big jerry can of petrol, and always make sure that your fuel gauge is working, and make sure that you look under the car to see whether you have or haven't got a fuel leak. And this is a good topic to finish segment 2 on. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. Very good advice.
So on that, in ending segment 2, have fun camping, guys. Please take care out there. Make sure that you've got everything packed, like your first aid kit. Make sure you've got everything in there that you need, like your nail scissors or clippers and file, band-aids, bandages, insect repellent and things like that. And more importantly, the toolbox. make sure you've got everything that you need to fix your car with in case you buy yourself. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. I love the important topics that you've spoken about.
And never drive on roads that could have nails on them. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Barry. Very good advice.
And coming up now is segment 3. You're watching the Tuesday edition of the Daily Wraps. Barry, Bill and Cassie here. The time is 22 minutes after 11 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Thanks for joining us. Segment 3 coming up now.